Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, is this controller junk? If you watched my last video and you read through the comments, you would surmise that this controller is in fact junk. What is the deal with this controller? Why do people think this is junk? I think the main reason that people think that this controller is junk is based on one review from a Mr. Madstech, and nothing against Madstech. His review was 100% accurate as far as what he was saying was the problem with this. Now the question though is whether or not that problem is really a problem per se for the vast majority of people. So what was the problem? What did he say the problem was? His problem with this controller is the fact that if you lose video because you're out too far, it's blocked, whatever, signal gets too bad or whatever, you also lose your control link. That's the deal breaker for him and for all these other people, I guess. I don't know. Now, for me, I don't see that really as a problem. I can see the case for people who think that might be a problem. So like they're thinking, oh, I lost video because I'm behind a building. Let me punch up and get above the building and get my video back. That scenario could happen, I suppose. And that would be a good case to keep control. But the vast majority of the time, whenever I lose video, I'm disarming. I'm not like punching out. I'm not doing that kind of stuff. And if I was doing long range flying, which I've done in the past, and I have lost video whenever that happened, return to home kicks in. Like I'd flip the switch and return to home comes in. You're thinking, well, you won't be able to flip the switch if you lose control. That's correct. That's why you have it set up correctly so that if this drops, then return to home kicks in that particular case there as well. So I don't really see I can see cases where you might want that, or you might like lose video for a few seconds and get it back. I mean, I can see the case for that, but that seems to be the stickler for people. It's like, I mean, that's the main stickler from what I understand. Now, that's not the problem for me with this controller. This controller has other issues that aren't that problem, but they're not deal breakers for me, but they are issues that I kind of want to talk about. So first, if you notice looking at this, you will notice something different than typically you would see with this particular controller. Do you spot it? Can you spot it now? Yes, gimbals. I changed the sticks on the gimbals because the ones that come with them are really tiny and really short, and I don't like those. So I couldn't get a good feel for them. Is that a deal breaker for some people? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You can just take them and change them out. It's like less than 10 bucks, and I bought some new ones, and these are like really adjustable. Pretty nice. They're on Amazon. So yeah, these are cool. So that's definitely an issue with this particular control. You've got other issues for some people, not for me necessarily. You can't connect this thing to anything else other than DJI stuff. So if you're flying like whoops and you've got analog and all that kind of stuff, you wouldn't be able to use it with this. So if you're doing a lot of variety of crafts and stuff that you're flying, then you wouldn't get this. It wouldn't make sense to get this for, just use whatever you're currently using, or get a different radio that supports, Crossfire, ELRS, whatever you want to use. So you've got that. The other issue with these gimbals, and this is the one that irritates me more than anything, but I'm adjusting to it. These suckers are loosey-goosey, and you can't adjust them. You can't tighten them up. You can tighten vertically here, but it's not tightening the spring tension. It's tightening the resistance, so that what would happen is if you tighten this stick will stick. You don't want that. That's bad. That's just going to cause issues. That one to me is probably the bigger issue with it. What's some pros though for this thing? I like the form factor. Although it's taken me a little getting used to doing thumbs, I like the form factor. Small. This thing's fairly lightweight. It's not the lightest one. There are lighter radios. I think Ladybug. I think the Radio Master Pocket might be lighter. I'm not 100% sure. It's way cheaper price. This is definitely not a cheap radio. It was a couple $100 when I got it. So there are radios that are cheaper. Like I said, it only does the DJI, so you can't do anything else with this thing. Although I did see a video somewhere about doing ELRS somehow or the other with this. I don't know how that works if you're hacking at what you're doing, but apparently somebody made ELRS work somehow with this. I don't know. So that's definitely a con. The form factor could be a con for some. For me, it's kind of a pro because I like the smaller thing. limited options on the number of buttons, you know, and the types of buttons could definitely be a con for some people. That's this right here. I'm learning to get used to it. I don't really like it. I like the little switch on my Tyrannus. Speaking of, some people seem to think I don't have any other radios and I chose this radio. I don't know. I'm not sure where that came from. I've got a really good radio and I got, you know, crossfire module on it. I have this option. I just chose, I wanted to try something different. I wanted to simplify down from this. And I like this radio. I've had this same radio. This is the same radio I have had now going on 10 years. I've had this exact same radio. The only thing that's changed on this was I replaced the case on it because I broke the old case and had a friend paint it. And yeah, that's the only thing I did. All the innards are exactly the same. I replaced the gimbals sometime back. I put, you know, Hall sensor gimbals on there. And I've replaced some of the little stuff around the switches just for aesthetics, not because I needed to. But yeah, so I've got a good radio with good gimbals, with good range, all that kind of stuff. Sorry about kicking that and shaking the screen. So, you know, I don't need another radio. So for those that think that I chose this because I didn't have a good radio, I do have a good radio. I just wanted to simplify my life. I thought not having an extra receiver is kind of a cool thing to be able to just, if I've got that in there and it can do the receiving, why not use it? And if it's got the same range as the video and the video's got ridiculous range, why not use this? So, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So again, if I'm wrong and I've missed something that is the deal breaker for this, let me know. And if you hate this radio and you've never tried it, why do you hate it? If you have tried this radio and you hate it, that is your opinion. That is great. But honestly, if you've not tried something, you should probably not hate on something if you haven't tried it. Now again, I may end up hating this, who knows? But for now, it's working fine for me and I kind of like it. So, oh yeah, one other drawback on this, no replaceable batteries, so that is a drawback. Battery life is pretty good on this. Seems to last a long time. I think they advertise something like 9 or 10 hours or something or the other, which is pretty stinking good, I think. But not having a replaceable battery kind of sucks. It is easy to charge though, USB, I kind of like that, makes it simple. Some people may not like that. They may like having a replaceable battery and being able to charge a different way, whatever, you know. That's great. That's definitely a con for some people for sure. You know, maybe the antenna's a con for some. I don't know. I like this little flip up. It's kind of slick, I think. And I know other radios have that. It's not like it's innovative or anything. Oh yeah, it does have start and stop on the recording and stuff of video, which is kind of cool. Since it's using DJI, you can control your video with it, which is kind of slick. Not necessarily needed for my case. I have it auto record on takeoff. So, but I did play with this for a bit. It's kind of slick. I had it that way when I first started messing with it. And then I found you can do auto record, and so I just set it to auto record. Anyways, I'm gonna get to flying because I want to cruise around this place. And I came out here yesterday with my buddy Ranham. We flew a bit, we got rained on, then we flew a little bit more. And I found I can really like push the boundaries of this place like I've never been able to do. So it was a whole lot of fun. So I'm gonna fly a little bit and I'll leave you with a little bit of cruising from here. Hopefully I get a decent line around here. I wasn't having too many good lines yesterday, but I was enjoying cruising around and exploring and stuff. So I'm gonna do some more of that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Enjoy the flying. Peace. Never stop flying, guys. Never stop flying.